I know. You're excited because it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. Yes, Cinco de Mayo, or as the Trump administration calls it, May 5th.
It's pretty funny.
Yes, it's very funny, but it does sort of...
it makes a point.
Makes a point. If you are a MAGA supporter, can you celebrate Cinco de Mayo? There are some polls that have shown that the Latino community, which was very supportive of Trump, did very well at the polls with the Latino community, but that his popularity is sagging because of...
Two things, the economy and immigration.
Right.
And it's not even so much that they were against his immigration policy during the election, because a lot of people were against, in the Latino community, were against the Biden policy.
Right.
But because of the due process issues.
Too far.
That's right.
Right. So how do you handle this if you are trying to celebrate Cinco, but also a MAGA supporter? Joining us right now is Tony Delgado, who is the CEO of Latino Wall Street, an organization that does financial education for the Latino community. Tony, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey, thanks for having me on, fellas.
We appreciate it.
And happy Cinco.
Happy Cinco.
Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. I mean, it's funny. Cinco de Mayo is actually a lot bigger in the United States than it is in Mexico and the rest of Latin America. It's a Mexican holiday, and contrary to popular belief, what people think that it's Mexico's Independence Day, it actually isn't. But it is a good excuse, kind of like what the Irish people do. It's a good excuse for Latinos to get drunk and to party here in the United States. And as an avid Trump supporter myself and Latino, I say you're allowed to celebrate Cinco de Mayo here in the United States as long as you have your papers and you have your green card and your passport and everything in check.
What I'm wondering is, like, is there conflict in the Latino community about exactly this, that you've got some people like yourself who is celebrating this holiday in the midst of all of this, and others are saying, how dare you? It's sort of like, I'm Jewish, and there's a little bit of a conflict in the Jewish community over the war in the Middle East right now. So I'm wondering if you have the same thing in your community.
Yeah, there definitely is a lot of conflict. And to your point, there's also a lot of fear, right? Because there are tons of people who are here on a legal status. They have a visa, right? They're not citizens, but they're here on a visa. And there's a lot of fear and uncertainty on whether or not that visa is going to stand or if it's going to get canceled and they're going to have to go back home.
What I'm really wondering about is, like, what's your 4th of July picnic like, or your Thanksgiving going to be like? Because I would think that if you've got a large family, and I don't know if you do or not, but if you do, that there are going to be people who are really opposed to what you're saying. How do you
have family members
no
who
community is monolithic.
Right. You must have family members who are not Trump supporters.
How do you get along?
How does that go down?
How do you get along?
If I'm being honest, in a lot of situations, it is awkward, right? At the barber shop, my barber is here on asylum, right? And it is a touchy subject, and there is a lot of fear in our community. And unfortunately, it is a situation where we're going to have to agree to disagree, right? If you're here on asylum, of course, your number one priority is staying here because this is the greatest country in the world. But unfortunately, you also have to follow the rules. And if we don't have borders, we don't have a country. So, it's kind of similar to if you snuck into a movie illegally and you're watching the movie, you didn't buy a ticket, you're in the middle of watching your movie and eating your popcorn, and then the usher comes in and says, hey, I'm sorry, you have to leave. You didn't buy a ticket.
Not really similar, but but
the consequences, the stakes are not nearly the same. I was just thinking that Cinco de Mayo celebrations this year might look whiter than usual, because there are going to be a lot of people who are Latino who are like, I'm not down with what's going on, and I'm not going to gather and have a big celebration like this.
Partly out of fear.
Yeah, partly out of fear, which means, the Cinco is not going to look all that Cinco.
Well, historically, George Bush was the first president to do a Cinco de Mayo party at the White House. Other Democrat presidents have done it since, but this year there was not an official party at the White House with President Trump. So it does put a little bit of a splinter in the Latino community, these immigration issues. But my hope is that we can overcome it. And in 4 years, we're going to have more peace and prosperity in this country and more Latinos coming here legally. You know, it puts a bad reputation when we allow cartels to come across the border. It puts a bad reputation for all Latinos, the hardworking, the honest ones who pay their taxes, who came here the right way. So my hope is that we're able to reform that image over the next 4 years.
Okay.
All right, Tony. Hey, I know your organization, Latino Wall Street. Anything that you have coming up that you want to promote?
Oh, yes. So super exciting to announce that we've partnered with CPAC, the largest conservative organization in the country, working with Mercedes, who runs the organization. She's a Cuban American from here in Miami, and we're going to be organizing CPAC Miami right here in Miami on June 28th and 29th, and it's going to be a blast.
Okay.
All right.
Tony, thank you.
Thanks so much for being
Appreciate
with us,
the
man.
time. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Thanks for having me on, gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think when that bar that you drive by on the way home,
Yeah.
usually,
It's going to be different.
it's gonna be a different crowd.
Yep.